Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm BJ.
and this week we're going to be talking about BJ's Dragon Quest VII Reimagined
Yeah.
playthrough. I'm going to have a little feedback on it as well, but also we have the unboxing for the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Collector's Edition. Not to brag on myself, but I'm going to brag on myself.
But you can do it. This is brag worthy because you and I typed the same thing at the same time because I know you.
Yeah, so I have the box like right here in my hands for those of you who are watching the video feed of this. But yeah, so it was delayed by a day, which was
Right.
frustrating. And then it came, and instead of opening it like I wanted to, I've been letting it sit here sealed in my office for over 24 hours now.
Which is
Um,
killing you.
it's killing me a little
Which
bit.
I
Yeah.
knew as soon as you said it was delivered and that you were waiting on it, that we were recording today, I knew that it was just going to be like taunting you the entire time.
But I wanted to do it in real time,
Yep.
so that people could see our reactions, but also just I've forgotten what's included. I know the ship and the bottle, which is the
Right.
number one thing I wanted. And I know there's like the physical copy of the game.
Right.
But everything else I've forgotten about.
I
I so
remember
like
one thing in it. I'm thinking I remember two things outside of the ship, but I know I remember one thing because it's what I wanted the most because I didn't care as much about the ship statue. But I'm curious to see because I can't remember what's in it either, so it's going to be a surprise.
Okay, so if you're only listening to this, I'm gonna apologize in advance for any crinkling you might hear. I did. This has been sealed. I slit open the tape right before we hit
Right.
record because that was gonna be loud. But hopefully the rest of it is not very loud. I'm just gonna kind of see. Oh my gosh, it's all wrapped in bubble tape. It's gonna be so loud.
So we
Oh,
apologize.
cool. I forgot there was a slime that came with it.
Oh,
There's a
dude, I
slime
love it.
plushie. Yeah, and it says it's in plastic, but it has the logo for DQ7 Reimagined on the back.
Oh, nice. That's if
And
you can't see it, it's like an embroidered patch on the back of it that's really cool.
it's a
That looks
pretty
like
good
the big special, like high quality logo.
and it's a pretty good sized slime. Like I mean, it's bigger than a softball for
Yeah, it's
people
like two
who
fists big, like
yeah,
side by side, I guess. Like
I mean, I guess it depends on the size of your fist, but yeah.
I have tiny hands, so it's the size of my two fists together.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so here's the game. Um, the PS5 game. I got PS5 as I said in a previous episode because it's the actual like physical disc in here,
Yep.
instead of Switch 2,
Which I
since it was
have
just the
just the
game
game key
card.
card, which is
Yeah.
obnoxious as everything.
So got that. I had forgotten that a steelbook came with it.
That's what I
Um,
wanted. That was the main thing I wanted was the steel book because I thought it looked really cool. It had slimes all over it, I think.
yeah, so it actually looks like I have the steelbook for Dragon Quest Heroes, which I believe was only released in certain parts of Asia. I think it
Okay.
was like China, maybe a couple of other places, but it looks just like this one for DQ Heroes. So
Really?
with the slime pattern and everything, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to show them side by side sometime. The steelbook for Heroes is with my video games down in my actual room. So, but yeah,
That's
it's got like the slime pattern here. The back has the logo and it shows little Aris there running with the slime. Um,
and I like that. Like and it's shinier than I expected. I knew that it was
kind of, yeah.
silver from the pictures of it, but I didn't actually expect it to be shiny. For some reason, I was expecting it to be matte,
And the inside is just kind of like the cover art and everything again that's with
which
the
is awesome.
other edition. The front here actually has there's a couple of slime smiling. It's not just like slime shadows. And then
Oh, okay.
here's like a little Dracky slime, and then here's a gem slime.
Oh, so okay. So from a distance, it kind of looked like they were all going to be just regular slime shadows. I couldn't tell on the video that that's what it was.
Which is actually funny because I wanted to talk about gem slimes at some point.
Okay.
So in seven, in if you play like the other versions of seven or like DQ8 or wherever where you might run into some gem slimes, they're like yellow, right?
Right.
They're just kind of like yellow. Well, in seven reimagined, they're gold, and they
Okay.
look gold, like they look like actual ore material.
Okay.
and it really threw me off because I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. They're a gem slime. So like,
Right. Well, gold's
but
not
like,
a gem.
but previous entries like were just kind of like yellow, just like
Yeah.
colored in.
Yeah,
And
not
so
like translucent or anything like that. Just actual like look like they're faceted, but not.
and so it threw me off because this looks like some kind of like crystal or like gold or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it did throw me off because I was like, they should be yellow. They shouldn't be gold. They should be yellow.
Right.
Um, and then the other thing I want to talk about that this reminded me of is, so if you look on the side too, you can see like the protagonist
Uh-huh.
and the slime right there.
Oh, that's
This
cool.
little this little like image right here of the protagonist of RS like
Mm-hmm.
running. If you play it on Switch 2, I played it some on Switch 2.
Yeah.
And I played the demo on PS5. You don't see it, but on Switch 1, if you play it on Switch 1, you can see it's a black screen and the outline is in white, and you can see him like running.
Oh,
It's quite
yeah.
like it.
I haven't
The,
noticed. I haven't seen that.
the load times are not long,
So
but
that's
like before
why.
like cinematics, sometimes you might see it for like 2 or 3 seconds.
Huh.
And so it's just kind of like this part of the game that like if you're playing on a different system, you don't see it.
Hmm.
But you can see it quite a bit on Switch 1, like when it has to load up for just a couple of
Which I
seconds.
really appreciate. Like I don't often like load screens, obviously, but if they're gonna be load screens, I want it to have something animated on it. And I know it is a completely arbitrary thing, and I know the like reasoning behind it. I know the logic. I know everything like marketing wise, like UX wise, why it's animated. But it makes me happy when it's animated. If it were just static, I would be like, my PlayStation's stuck. Or I guess my Switch is stuck, but
No, I totally get it. Sorry, I had myself muted because for people who aren't watching, while he was talking, I'm like tearing into what is like 10 pounds of bubble wrap right now.
it's a lot.
It's a whole lot. Yeah.
See, and I'm
All right.
glad to see this. Like, I'm glad to see that there's a bubble wrap thing here. I'm glad to see that you have this big box that you pulled out because I was actually a little disappointed that there wasn't a like huge collector's edition box in it. Like, you just pulled out the game, you pulled out the steel book, you pulled out the slime plushie, and they were just in the packaging box, not inside like a collector's edition box. And I mean, this may just be the ship in a bottle, but it made me happy that there was at least a big box in there, that it wasn't just thrown haphazardly into a shipping box and packed up
It's
of disparate items.
they said it was going to be separate items. If
Oh,
you
did
were
they?
on the Square Enix store, yeah, they said this doesn't all ship in like one box. It's just all those pieces are going to be put into like an
Okay,
order for you.
see, I didn't, when I saw how much it was, I actually stopped paying as much attention to it because I was like, there's no way I can afford the collector's edition, but this was the one I would want if I had been able to get one. So I'm really glad that you got it so I can see all of this stuff.
Yeah. I'm smiling because I don't know. Can you hear the tambourine?
No.
Okay. I have a bunch of musical instruments up here in my office too, and Olive is scared of the bubble wrap. My dog Olive, she's in the office with me right now. She's scared of the bubble wrap, even though it's all over now. And she's trying to get under the bed that's in this room, and she's over there like kind of pawing, and she keeps knocking into the tambourine, so the tambourine is jangling.
And for those of
Um,
you who haven't, we haven't talked a whole lot over the years about his dogs. Olive is the sweetest dog, and she's had some issues, like health wise and brain wise. So she's kind of skittish and barks and forgets things really easily.
she's
So I
derpy,
can just
yeah.
see this derpy dog doing this on I can see this derpy dog just doing it on like scared of this bubble wrap, going under the thing, dinging a tambourine, then coming out, seeing the bubble wrap again, and then getting scared of it to go back to the tambourine. And I love it. I just love it.
So yeah, so like BJ said, it comes in like a nice box. There's like some, stuff over here.
I like
There's kind
the
of like a
box comes with a
nice
background. Like it's got a background
background.
behind the ship when you just have it as, if you're having it as a display in the box without opening it.
Yeah, and it comes in plastic. I'm opening this up because I don't care about retaining its value because I'm going to put this out on my desk.
And this is the only one you
This
said
is
that
going to
you
be kind
didn't
of
have already, right? You
I
don't have
don't
any of seven merch like this, like seven protagonists and characters, right?
I don't I don't have figures of any characters from 7. Seven's
Right.
the only one. Well, actually now that I think about it, I may not have any from 9.
Mm,
But like the ones that actually have like named characters and like a named
right.
cast like that you play as. I've got some figures somewhere of all of them except seven. And seven, back when like way a long time ago with PS1 version, seven came out with some cute diorama action figure sets.
Right.
That have always kind of been in like my holy grail of like Dragon Quest
Right. Of
merch.
course. Yeah.
I've never gotten it, I found sometimes and it's expensive.
Yeah.
So this one, oh cool. So it has like a little actual ship stand for it.
Nice. Like
And
a
then
little like it's got a plaque on it. He just kind of flashed that one up before he gets the whole thing put together, but it's got a little plaque on it, a little wooden stand.
and then here's the ship in the bottle. So there you can
Oh,
see the hero and
pull back
Maribel
just a little bit from the
and
camera.
and Kiefer all with everything. You can see like there's a cure slime and a sea slime. There's the fish thing. I forget what it's called. There's Greycoast back here in the back.
Some kind of
Or
CUDA.
or a monster like Greycoast. Greycoast is a boss in the game, so I assume
Yeah.
it's him. Kind of chasing after the ship.
That's
Um,
really awesome.
you cannot uncork it. I just tried because it
I
looked
was
like
like, "Are
it
you
might.
about to break that?"
It
I don't know if my face reflected it in the video, but I was like, "Are you about to break this already?"
it looked like you could open it, but you can't. So then you put it like this.
Yeah.
And this is it. So this is really cool. About hold on, I'm gonna call about 4 years ago, you got me a ship in a bottle Lego set, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Looks a lot like this. It's on display on a shelf in my living room,
This
and
is
I'm totally
replacing it, isn't
this
it?
no, this is gonna go beside it. I've just
Oh,
decided this is not an office edition. This is actually going in my living room. Um,
that looks so much cooler than I thought it would. Like those of you who can go to YouTube, and if you're not watching this, I really suggest going and checking out this video on YouTube so that you can see it. Like I thought this was going to look neat and I wasn't really excited about it, and now I'm really jealous that you have this and I don't. Like
this
this
is
is worth the money for the collector's edition.
this is what I spent the money for.
Right.
In all honesty, like I shouldn't have spent the money on this, but I saw this was a ship in the bottle. I saw it had the characters, and I was like, you know what? Like, if I can sell some of my that's what I did. I sold some like Pokemon cards, but I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
you know what? I was like, I can sell some stuff to make up for like
Yep.
the cost of it. Otherwise, I'm gonna like hate myself forever for not having it. I'm gonna be
Yes.
like, I'm gonna do what I did with like the older dioramas I talk about, where like
Yeah.
they occasionally show up on eBay and I look at them and just get sad that I'm not like buying them or anything. And so, yeah, this is really, really cool.
That is
I am very, very excited. I'm gonna put it
it
carefully
looks
off to the side over here.
it looks just like the video game because they were modeled. This is funny. The characters in the video game were modeled after physical representations of them, where they made the characters as dolls first and then rendered them in 3D. And now you have a toy that has been modeled after the video game characters that were modeled after another physical item but looks exactly the same. Like this is awesome. Can I
And
can't tell from the video, but can you see the texture on their clothes like you can in the game? Like that's one thing I
you
think is
can
cool about the
see,
game.
yeah, so I was actually looking a little bit closer with it right there, and it's like the painting on the clothes look pretty good. Their faces look a little derpy, like they don't have
Mm.
noses.
Huh.
Really, I mean they have like little you if you look from the side you can see where they have noses, but like if
Right.
you just look at them from the front, it does not look like they have noses, and like their lips are extra pink, which makes them the characters themselves look a little off. But I mean, the ship looks amazing. Like the water texture is really cool with the waves and stuff,
And it looks
the way
like
it's
it's a bit
painted.
translucent from my point of view
A
here.
little bit,
Like
yeah.
that's really cool. Like I am very impressed by that.
It's cool. I'll take some nice pictures of it and put them online too. Now that I
Yeah.
have it open sometime because I don't know, it looks cool.
It does look really
So
cool.
all right, so Dragon Quest VII, it actually showed up to your house after we recorded last week's
It
episode,
did.
and you've got to play it for a few days now.
Yes.
What are you thinking so far?
So I'm mad that it was a game key card because, as you know, and I don't think I've mentioned on here, my internet has been really terrible lately. Like it'll
But I
drop.
told you it was a game key
No,
card.
no, 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 no,
You
no, no. I know it's a
willingly.
game key card. I
Okay.
picked it. Like I got it. I
Okay.
got it. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Like it's just the fact that it is a game key card sucks. Like
Okay.
not that I didn't know it was a game key card. So I
Oh,
get
okay.
it, and I get it, and I put it in the Switch to download, and I'm like, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play it for a while, and it goes to download, and it gets about 90% done. The internet drops. Okay. So I'll wait and wait, and it's been like an hour, and the internet hasn't come back up. So I'm like, I'm gonna tether my Switch to my phone, and I'm gonna download the game using that. And then that's slow enough that it doesn't actually work on downloading the game, and my internet comes back up during the time that I have this, and I get it, and it says it has 2 minutes left. It gets to where it says 1 minute left, and
Yeah.
the internet drops again at 99% when it's got 1 minute left. And I can't play this, remind you, it's not on the physical disc. And I try to tether again, and it says that it's going to be 2 hours to download 1% of this game on my hotspot. And I'm so angry about game key cards at this point. And then it comes back up. I downloaded it. It like literally takes a second when the internet comes back up, and I started playing it. But I'm like, this is why I hate the idea of game key cards, is because I waited and I got something for my shelf, and I got something that I'm glad I got this version. Don't get me wrong, but the concept is frustrating and anti-consumer, and I hate it.
Yeah. I don't think it's like I'm not a fan, and that's why I refuse to get the
This is
physical
the
version. I'm like
only one I
anything that
have.
says if it says it comes game key card, I'm not gonna buy it as like punishment. Even if I'll buy the digital version on like the eShop, like
Yes.
I won't do it because I'm like it's the whole concept to me is ridiculous.
Yep.
Um at least though it didn't make you restart. Do you remember years and years ago when we were getting FF14 to download on
Oh
my
gosh.
PS3, and then it would like the internet would drop or some kind of hiccup would happen and it would
Right.
restart the whole
Yeah, the
download
entire
again
download. And like you tried it in multiple places. You brought your PS3 to
to work.
work, hooked it up in my office
I did.
with like my monitor to my work computer hooked up to your PS3 so we could
Yeah.
download Final Fantasy 14 for you. And it was still doing that. I think that's where we ended up getting it to do it. Or maybe it was at my house that we were finally able to get it to
I can't
download
remember.
everything. But it was, yeah, it's so digital games are so handy for so many things, but also have so many headaches that shouldn't be a part of it.
And
And
this was also back in 2013.
yeah,
So it's like when A Realm Reborn was brand new and also like technology was a little bit not where it is now.
right.
So it was more of an ordeal, I
It
feel
was
like, to
hard. It
get
was slower to
better
download
internet.
stuff on the
Yeah.
PS3 than it is the PS5 now. Just hardware has
Yeah.
evolved, but it was. I remember that. I'll never forget you bringing your PS3 into the office and hooking it up to my monitor. Like I can still see like my desk sitting by the windows that led out to that showed out at the lab, and everybody's out there working on their papers, and like we're working in a learning center at a college, you guys, just so that y'all know the context of this. Like, not even just bring it to my cubicle at an office. Like, we're at a college. I'm the director, and he's the assistant director of the learning center and tutoring center at a college. And he brings his PlayStation 3, and instead of me doing the work that I need to do, unhook my computer monitor and hook into his PlayStation. So while everybody else is doing, and obviously we were, people needed us. We were
The
going back
work
and forth,
internet, to
but
be
work
clear though,
internet,
the work internet was better than my home internet at the
it
time.
was. It
Like
was a lot better.
I lived in a rural area where I had access to like one kind of internet and it was like known for being the crappy internet, but like it had a
Yep.
monopoly in the area because it was a rural area. And so you just had to like suck it up and deal with it.
Yep.
And so I brought it in. I brought it into work. Not
And
for funsies, but because
no,
the internet was so
like
much better there.
literally because it was the only way that you could get it to download right then. And like I love it. I still love that thing. But yeah, so I'm still having issues with internet downloads at this point. But we got it fixed this morning. We're crossing our fingers. This is the second time we've had a technician out, and they replaced the second kind of cable that we have. The one that was actually in our house was apparently bad. So I'm crossing my fingers that we actually got it, and we actually got over 1,000 megabits a second this morning for the first time in 10 years. So that's cool. Actually got the speeds we pay for. So who would have thought about that?
Yeah.
But DQ7, right? So
Mhm.
back to DQ7 instead of our tangent. I haven't been able to play it as much as I wanted to because work stuff and I had extra meetings come up this week. But I got through, you get through the demo and everything. I transferred over and I haven't done the DLC yet with the code that you sent me,
Mhm.
but I did the, get your demo save passed over so you can start where you are. And I got Maribel's outfit, like her day off dress or something, I think it's called. And I like it so much better than her normal outfit, that her normal with the headscarf and everything. I
Is
like the
it
yellow dress, just her hair's down, or maybe she has a ponytail, and like it's just a yellow sundress, and it's just really nice. I like it a lot better than the normal Maribel outfit. And you can just go into the PlayStation or the um, you go into the menu and then you press like the right stick and it opens up appearances. And so I was able to change it in there.
hmm.
The look on
I
your face makes me think that you didn't.
I don't have that.
Yeah, it gave it to me immediately. It was like
I,
your
I,
reward for playing
I
the demo.
okay, here's the thing though. Okay, so that I haven't talked about on here, but
Right,
like I played the demo on Switch 2 and PS5.
right.
I asked for a review code on Switch 2. It didn't work. And so Square Enix sent me a code for Switch 1 instead. And I had to play through the whole thing on Switch 1 from the very beginning of the game.
And
And
you
so
didn't play
I
the
didn't get
demo to transfer it over once you got that. You just started the game
because
in
I had the code.
you had the
Yeah, so I
code.
didn't get any bonuses from the demo. So that's why I don't have that. Although I do have the game now on Switch 2 and I played the demo on Switch 2. So I could probably
Yeah.
boot that
Yeah,
up and
boot
do
it
it.
up,
But
transfer the save over, and you'll see the thing. And I like it better than the normal Maribel outfit.
like honestly, and that's the thing is that the it was supposed to come with like the different like costumes and all,
Mhm.
but there's like a thing in the menu that says like you can um to like redeem it or whatever. It's like
Right.
to redeem items, and I went through there to try to find it when I was playing the game early, and it
Yeah.
never would. It said like nothing was available, and so I don't know if it's like
Could have been if you did it
it's
beforehand. Some of that
right.
stuff doesn't
And
go happen until it goes live.
I liked the game. Don't get me wrong, but I was really burned out on it by the time I got to the end, um,
Yeah.
because of how frustratingly repetitive it still is at times, and just by the time it was done, like I was done, and so I haven't booted it back up or played through the post
Yeah.
game yet because I've just been kind of letting it sit and I've been breathing for a little while,
Right.
um, because especially there toward the end, like when you just want it. This
You
is
want it to be over.
this is not
DQ7.
this is not a major spoiler. And if you've played the original games, it's not a spoiler at all. But you know when you get to the part where like you're trying to find the spirits, you're
Yeah.
going and like reviving all four spirits. Um, that part was very annoying to me, because like at that point in the game, it's like you're barreling toward the end and you just want
Yep.
it to be done. And they take away zoom from you, so you have to walk like everywhere. Now you can't just zoom to the places. You have to
Which they give
take
you
the time
immediately in the game, which is
to
really
walk.
in this
Yeah.
one.
But they insist you walk because your magic is not going to work in the
Right.
overworld. You're constantly backtracking and running around, and so much of those segments are like the one that got me is in like Emberdell, right?
Hmm.
And at the volcano, you take the warp for the fire spirit, and you're there in the volcano,
Hmm.
and like you get there and they're like, oh no, you got to head into town. You got to head into Emberdell and talk to Pamela, the fortune teller lady. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll run to Emberdell. You can't zoom there because
So
zoom
you
doesn't
have to
work.
run up through
And
all of the different levels of the
so,
volcano.
well, no, because it at least puts you
Oh, the
close, so
teleporter. You're okay. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of run out pretty quickly. You go and get her. You fight the monsters. They're attacking the village. You get her, and then you have to go back to the volcano. It's just literally right there. I mean, it's
Right.
just running through like three screens, but it's like, why couldn't y'all have just like streamlined this a little bit?
Right.
And then you have to drop down and go through the whole volcano again that you've already done like
Right.
three times. Especially if you went through it all in like the present, to get all the goodies and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're falling through that, doing it all again, and then battle the fire spirit, and it puts you back up top, which is nice, right by the portal that'll take you back to the Shrine of Mysteries. But then it won't let you go. Instead of doing that, you have to walk the little old lady back to Emberdale to her front door to let her walk back into the house and just say thank you, and then walk
And then
all the
walk
way back to
back.
the volcano and get in. And that's the kind of stuff that frustrates me about this game, because I'm like,
Right.
if you're gonna reimagine a video game, maybe like cut out some of this BS, because
And
it's like
talk when they're doing it about streamlining it. Like that's
so
one of the
like
selling
annoying.
points is streamlining it, and that is not streamlined the gameplay.
And it's like it's also right after the section where you play as Sir Mervyn for a little while,
Hmm.
and you like get to the beacon, and they're like, "You need permission from the king," and so you're kind of like, "Ugh." And so then you like walk back, and then you go and talk to the king, and then you have to go back to the beacon. You're like, "I got my permission
Yeah.
now," where it like adds nothing. Like they could have very easily
Said
cut
I've
this
got
complete,
permission.
cut this completely, or just have like. Like why can't Sir Mervyn just have the permission as he goes in?
Right.
Why can't Pamela walk herself back to the house now that things are
Monsters.
safe?
There are no monsters
And
yet.
like there's just like all these things that just like and the game has that issue throughout, but by that time, after playing it so long, by the time I was there, I was just like I was done. And
Get
so
it?
when the credits rolled and everything, I was just kind of like,
And
I'm
DQ7
yeah.
has that effect. Like I really like DQ7. Like when we were talking earlier, you asked me around Christmas which one of the games I would prefer to that you wanted to get me for Christmas and my birthday, either
Yeah.
DQ1 and 2 or DQ1 and 2 or the DQ7 Reimagined, and I
Seven
wanted
Remain.
7 Reimagined. Like I prefer this game, and but it does have really frustrating moments in it. But I did on this one. I've decided since you've played through it, we've talked about it, and I need to get through it since I've already played the 3DS version.
Uh,
I decided to play it basically on easy mode
yeah,
and
I
put it
would.
on getting more XP, getting doing more damage, and there was one more, but I
More
can't remember.
vocation points.
More vocation points. And so I
Mhm.
decided to do that. I didn't turn down, but also I also did the healing between healing between the battles.
Mhm.
Although I didn't read it right, and so I'm going to turn it back off because I don't care. It's healing between battles. It doesn't restore your MP. It's just
Okay.
your health.
Cause
So
yeah, we
I
were
did
talking
it
about
because
that
I
last
wanted
week. Yeah.
MP, and I was like, oh, that's the annoying part is that sometimes you're running through, you put things on show no mercy, you run out of MP really easily, you have to constantly use items. I was like, if I don't have to worry about that, that's just going to let me blaze through it, and then you still lose MP. It only restores health. And I'm like, well, I don't care about that. It's like I can cast heal. It's like I'm not stupid, and but it lets me. It didn't do the MP, so I did that for a little bit, but I've only gotten through Emberdale so far past the demo. Like you do the first island and everything in the demo, and I've only gotten through Emberdale, but it's a really fun game. I like Emberdale more in this than I did in the 3DS version.
Oh,
It
okay.
seems.
Emberdale was always kind of a highlight for me. Like
Oh, really?
whenever there's like some towns you just really remember, and like
Hmm.
Emberdale was always one that
I don't know what the reason was in the original, I shouldn't say original, in the 3DS version
yeah.
that Emberdale seems so trudging to me. Like
Okay.
everything about it with the fire festival, them making you wait and go around the fire. You didn't have to talk to every NPC in this one
Yeah.
during the fire festival, which has been one of my maybe why I hated it. Because if you skip an NPC by accident, you had to go back and talk to literally every person in town, and I missed an NPC somewhere. And so I had to go back through town trying to do it, and you didn't have to do it this time. And I was like, oh, this is so much, this is streamlined. This is the kind of thing that you do to make the game feel better. Where the option is there. I talked to a few people, but didn't automatically have to talk to literally every NPC in the town. So that made it better. I absolutely trounced the boss. I wonder why. And doing a lot more damage, having it on auto show no mercy on two of my characters, and obviously probably being over leveled a couple of levels because of the extra XP. But it's fun. Like I'm having fun, honestly, plowing through these areas, seeing them, experiencing this game that I've already played before and seeing how it's changing and the different story, experiencing the voices, that kind of thing.
So, just so you know, I'm not going to spoil it for people, but just kind of like pro tip, you one thing that is slightly annoying about this version that I don't remember being a thing in previous ones is so in Reimagined, right? You have like your story fragments that you have to
Yeah,
find in pedestals, and then there's like I think it's four like optional
right.
like gray pedestals behind it that you can do. I think I did like two before I was like, oh, you know what, that I finished the second one. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, that was totally optional, and I
Hmm.
just But anyway, if you want to do all of them, so if you want to do everything, you do need to find 50 mini medals at least. You get a
Oh, you get a
fragment for finding
fragment.
50 mini medals, which is pretty doable, I
Yeah,
would say. I mean, I break pots and open wardrobes like nobody's
everywhere.
business, but
You can't read bookshelves.
you can.
Can you? Because the bookshelves I've gone up to didn't have anything in them. It wouldn't
It
let me.
it's
Is there
not
only
every
some?
it's not every single one, but yeah,
Okay.
you can read them. Like I went through clicking all of them, and I would say more than half have like
Okay.
sometimes it's not like a text, sometimes it's a story, like a quick little story, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it's just like there's a bunch of books that look really thick and have big words in them,
Okay, because the ones
and then
I've
sometimes
done
it's
that I've run
nothing.
across and just thought about, I guess, have done. And I was like, I was really disappointed. I was like, I love going through and reading the different stories and stuff. And I can't remember if it was seven or nine that I got really into finding all of the stories and putting them together. Maybe it was 11 because I love doing it in 11 too. But it was like, oh, I went to the bookshelf and it gave me nothing. It didn't even tell me about, Sir Mervyn of whatever, I guess. But
There
I
there
was
is
just like,
one on
oh,
Sir Mervyn that you can find and learn about him and read about him like before he joins your party or anything.
yeah,
Um, that one's in there. There's some stuff. There's some that are just like tales, from that
yeah,
world. There's one on like Shark Eye and everything. Which,
yeah.
okay, by the way, I meant to mention this. I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet. Okay, I know we're almost out of time, but I got to get one last rant here out of the way. Okay,
All right.
the voice acting in this
Mm-hmm.
game, okay, is generally fine. All right,
Not great, but
there,
fine.
yeah, it's fine. There's a couple of times that I was like, oh, this is terrible. One of them was in one town, you're talking to an NPC. You talk to an NPC, and it's like, just the normal, like, man's
Mm-hmm.
voice NPC that they use in the game.
Yeah.
And then you go and talk to a kid in that village, and he has the same voice. Like, they didn't even try to make him sound like a kid. He's like a tiny little dude. And I'm like, why does this guy sound like a grown man? So that was
Sounds like
annoying.
Stewie
But
Griffin.
but the
Uh, j-
biggest thing that annoyed me, okay, is Shark Eye. They did Shark Eye dirty, okay? They I love that. Like that's probably my favorite part of this whole entire game is all the stuff with Shark Eye and like finding out, the protagonist's like heritage and doing all this
right.
stuff, right? Love it. They made Shark Eye sound like Captain Hook, like Disney's Captain Hook from like Peter Pan, like 1950s Peter Pan,
That sounds
Captain
great.
Hook is what he sounds like, and it's awful, and I hate it. And like,
I,
Shark Eye's supposed to be kind of like a dashing pirate
yeah.
type guy, and then every time he talks, he has like this really like shrill like pirate captain, like not even like Dustin Hoffman and Hook Captain Hook
Yeah.
voice,
And
like
I know
like
that's what I think of
OG
with like
OG Captain Hook. Like, I mean, like at any minute you expect him to be like Shmee, and like running away from ticking clocks. It's terrible, and
wow.
I I was so oh man, it was one of those like look
Oh.
how they massacred my boy moments where I was just like man, and like nothing against that voice actor because I'm sure that's the direction they told him to
Right.
take.
Yep.
But whoever made that decision, like no. Like
Like
it
drop the
totally it,
ball.
it ruined it. Every time Shark Eye talked, it was so grating. Like I literally turned the volume all the way down some of that time and just like read it and played through because I could not stand Shark Eye's voice. And I'm like, y'all
Even the
made
like
him,
snippets, if you forward through, you couldn't stand like the half sentences that he
yeah,
would
because
say.
he sounds like it's so like cornball and terrible. And I just like it took me out of it every time. I'm like, this was
Wow.
not the direction to take this. I'm still mad about it.
Wow. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I look forward to getting to that point to experience it. I also dread getting to that point to experience it. So thank
But
you for that.
you said you thought it was
Yep.
wonderful, so
It
maybe
sounds
you'll like
wonderful.
it.
Like I
I
might like it. Like it sounds fun, but also I do understand where maybe it would be annoying with a high pitched shrill. My southern came out real good on that
I
one.
mean, I mean, really, you can just like go watch a clip of like, the like original like Disney Peter Pan,
Yeah,
like Captain Hook talking, and that's what Shark Eye sounds like. And it's just so hokey and weird, and I
I look
don't like
forward
it
to it.
at all. And but it also is the fact that like it makes him sound way older than he is.
Oh,
Like, because Captain Hook is a dude who's like he's like,
yeah,
I don't know, 50,
50s
60,
ish.
like
Yeah,
yeah. And then you have Shark Guy, who's supposed to be kind of this like younger, dashing, man pirate hero,
right.
and yet he sounds like freaking Captain Hook, and
Wow.
it's just
Okay.
like, mm, mm,
I
mm,
I look forward
mm.
to it,
Yeah, it's
but
it's and I promise I like this game. It's just sometimes more fun to like rant and
fair.
make fun of the stuff that I didn't like, rather than just like sing its praises. But like
And
I
I'm really
promise, I
enjoying
did
it.
like this game.
Yeah, I really like it. I like the monster hearts. I like being able to collect the different monster hearts around and install them, equip them, and so
Are they
I think.
monster? Sorry, they're monster medals, right? In this one,
Oh no, they're called monster hearts.
are they?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like 90% certain.
A
They
monster,
they are monster medals, just like the ones in DQ Heroes. It's where you get.
right? But like in Monster Hearts, I thought it was in 3DS where you can actually like turn into the monster and everything.
I mean, it may be calling it the
And then I
same
thought I
thing.
thought these were called monster medals because you just
Maybe
equip them. But
maybe
maybe they
they
are called
are,
Monster Hearts. I
but
don't know.
but
I beat the whole game and I don't even know.
I think it's either way. When you get something from a special monster, it gives you abilities, and I like them being little trinkets that you can equip. And so I look forward to being able to see what all I can get throughout the rest of it. So
I
I'll keep
gotcha.
y'all posted as we go through this on which ones I find that I like and things like that because
Yeah,
they're fun to hunt. Those are the kind of things I like to hunt, which is like the DQ three Monster Wrangler stuff.
cool. Yeah. So we'll be talking about DQ7 a whole lot more in upcoming weeks. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. Um, and remember, you can talk to us. I'm losing my voice. Remember, you can talk to us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Dragon Quest FM, and I'm at those places at Dragon Questin.
And I'm on Blue Sky at bjkgames.com, Instagram bjk.games, and Twitter at bjkgames. And we are also on Patreon if you would like to subscribe and support the podcast at patreon.com/DragonQuestFM.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.